Wow, like a machine.
Yes, like a well-oiled one.
Yeah, well oiled. Yeah. So good to have you on the show, Red.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Cedar Creek Studios. And yeah, we wanna pick your brain a little bit today about your sound.
Shouldn't take long.
Your
Pun intended on the pick. That was a bad pun. Yeah.
You know what? What I'm really curious about, having a little bit of a jazz background myself, and just being a jazz lover. How did you get started when you played? How does the jazz influence enter your musical world, and what was your inspiration for that?
Well, I've been accused of knowing jazz, I guess, by some guys, but to me, I've never studied it or worked on it, or I practiced guitar obviously all the time, but as a young guy, the jazzy stuff that I liked was the Bob Wills Western Swing kind of Texas, Oklahoma swing music. So from what I gather is most of those guys back in that time were out of work jazz players because all the big bands disbanded because of the Depression, so nobody could have a 25-piece band anymore. So I think at some point Bob and a bunch of other different Spade Cooley kind of guys went around and said, "Hey, I need a band. Any of you guys play country?" And they all went, "Yeah."
Things really haven't changed.
They needed a job, so they got in that band, and then of course they got playing the kind of fiddle tune stuff, the Wills things, which the chords might have been so those guys went up for about a month or two, and then they probably went, "Ugh, what if we go?" that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they would take a song like, say, just sake of argument, Bob Wills' "Faded Love." Which is so after a couple of months of playing that, those guys probably went.
Right.
Man, it's crazy how musical all those parts are.
I mean, you almost hear the melody.
Yeah,
and
it's
all that.
everywhere. Bass line and
Yeah. When you did that sample before, on that groove, it immediately sounded like Benny Goodman or Charlie Christian or something like
Well,
that.
sure. That's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
I think those guys in the Western swing world in the late 30s, 40s were jazz guys that were out of work and said,
Right.
"Yeah, I'll take a country
Yeah.
gig. I got to
Right.
feed my kids." So they did it and snuck their stuff in there, which was all their Freddie Greenisms and all that kind of stuff, So that's where I got what
Right.
little I know of kind
Right.
of jazzy kind of stuff was based on that style of playing.
So, have you ever played like a straight up jazz gig playing standards?
No, I'd be scared to death.
hide out.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you would be, but
I mean, I've sat in with
Yeah.
guys that do some Cherokee and those kind of tunes, standards like that, but hell, I'm lost as an Easter egg in half of it.
You
know,
wouldn't,
but-
you wouldn't want to have to chart that out.
no, I mean, I'd hear it if I hear it go by
Right.
once, I can probably
Right.
bluff my way through it. You know?
right, yeah.
So
So you've lived in Nashville and Austin, but you're from Canada. How were you exposed to the Bob Wills and all that stuff back then?
well,
You didn't have the internet. You couldn't
No.
Google Bob Wills on YouTube. back then.
No,
it had to get there,
yeah.
and that's a long distance.
Yeah.
So how did you get
for
into that?
me in Canada, I listen to everything I get my hands on, as every guitar nut does.
Yeah,
you
records.
just buy every record you can get, and you meet guys on the road. And back then it was cassette tapes.
Yeah,
Everybody had a suitcase full of cassette tapes. Hey, have you heard this guy? I
Huh.
met this guy in Montreal, and he's from Kentucky, and
Right.
he plays just like this. Oh, Jesus, Merle Travis,
Okay.
that kind of. And you get tapes, and you listen and learn all this stuff. So through that, I was aware of the Western swing kind
Okay.
of stuff from, other players having tapes that had come down to the States, and some the American bands that came up to play. They were in country bands, but of course we'd all get together in a hotel room after the gig
Yeah,
was
right.
all over, sit around and jam.
Stop, so-
What are you going to jam? They're all country guys, so it's back then. It's either going to be Buck Owens, Chet Atkins,
Right,
or
one
Bob
of
Wills.
Right. Well,
That's about all there was to
Right,
kind of get.
okay.
Was that sort of chicken picking stuff. Regular old commercial country stuff. Bob Wills, Western swing style of music. Bit of blues maybe, that kind of. So that was kind of, what do we jam? It'd be one of those kind of situations. So you'd see a guy that would play like that stuff and be really good.
Yeah, and get exposed to
shit,
it.
just wear his ass out trying to steal all his stuff from him.
Right.
That's how you learn. Now you do it on YouTube.
yeah,
for
you have
free.
to do it on the spot though.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for him to
You
come
have
to
to watch
town.
his hands very closely.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, in your time in Nashville, I mean, you played in several bands. Were you also like a hired gun session cat at some point in the time when you were in Nashville, or always more with bands?
More live band situation. I
bands.
did a bunch of sessions, but it was all mostly demo, small potato stuff.
Okay.
Nothing any big.
Do you feel like those session guys need a different kind of skill set when you do that stuff, or?
Well, they have to be chameleons and play like everybody, I think, as far as the style, because a producer, no offense, but 9 out of 10 of them don't play, or if they do, they used to be a drummer or a bass player, so they can't say, hey, give me this kind of a doodle-doo-doodle-doo-doodle-doo. They can't do that.
Communicate it,
So
right.
they'll say, hey, can you give me the sound that so and so got
Yeah.
on this record?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you've heard it and learned it and put that in your catalog, then you can go, okay, they want this kind of a sound, so I'll give them these sort of licks and if they want Jimmy Page, well, that's what you play, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, you have to have an incredible memory, I think, to be able to do that.
And you only have like 5 minutes to make it work or something.
Right.
On
And
the
pressure's
spot.
on.
Offer him.
Yeah, so it's a
something.
huge, hard job. I'm
So
sure.
you haven't really done like you said, just demo stuff or
Just demo stuff, and then I've done some different things too, like with Merle, I played on his records and stuff like that.
But then you play in the band too,
But
so
it's,
that's
I'm in the
different.
band, and that's part of the gig. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
no, hey, can you sound like the last guy we fired? You know,
That's
this
the
and that,
formula, right? Yeah.
So
What about your guitar? Tell us about this fine looking
this
instrument.
old dog.
That's obviously not something you just got 2 weeks ago at Guitar Center or anything.
No, it's a relic. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you relic that yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Barbecue
This is,
sauce. And
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce, cigarette smoke.
coffee.
It's a 55 Telecaster,
Jeez.
and got a few changes made to it. We got a new neck pickup. The old one died. So
Yeah.
And,
What brand is it?
It's a Fender.
Fender.
Fender guitar, yeah.
No, I mean
the
the
pickup,
pickup.
is made by budsguitars.com. A guy
Nice.
named David Buds makes pickups. and
Okay.
Does a wonderful job.
55. So it's 60,
Nice.
62 years old.
Butts. Well, let's give him a shout out. Mr. Butts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
The name dropping. What's the back look like? Is it really worn?
No, it's the same.
Oh, okay. It's pretty cool.
Looks like you take pretty good care of your guitars.
Yeah, I don't throw them around or throw them up in the air and all that in my concerts.
And where'd you get that? Did you buy it for like $50 or something?
No,
That's
no,
usually
no.
how the story goes.
No, I've got a couple of those though,
Yeah.
but this isn't one of them.
Tell
I
us a
think
little
where I
bit
got
more.
it. I forgot where I got it.
Right.
It's been so long ago.
You still have it. That's the
Oh
important
yeah,
part.
I got lots of old guitars like everybody. I guess you.
That's
and
your
I
main
don't get
one.
rid of nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
So
I met you when we were both working with John Grammatica
Yeah.
on different amps, so I see you still playing his
oh,
amp.
Oh, yeah,
the only
so
amp
see
for
it?
me.
Right on.
I'm
Yeah,
so,
three of
blocking
them
it.
now.
Yeah.
and that's
They're
a new generation now?
This is a new one. He's makes one called a DFW, which is like a Tweed Twin. And this one has a tube rectifier, and I got him to put a 15-inch in it instead of two 12s. So it's a little more custom that way for what I want.
Right.
I just love it. It's awesome.
It's like ballsy, clean sound.
This-
That's what
yeah.
you want, pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I got all the dirt I need for 2 songs
Yeah.
a night there. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So most stuff I play is real clean
Yeah.
sort of things anyway. So that's.
I noticed that, especially like on the low strings, you have a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
pop on
Yeah,
that.
it's got that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lots of punch and really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to play something else? Or?
Yeah, let's play a little bit.
Trying to
Yeah.
think.
Maybe
Something you
one
wanna
thing
play?
before we play, because I know I've heard you tear it up on some rock stuff, and I know you can totally, you're like a rock guitar player too, if you need to be. And so I'm just curious, what kind of pedals you using, or what do you?
For the
Your
rocky
favorites
kind
are?
of stuff, I use these called a Zia Drive, and it's kind of like it's a distortion pedal, but it has 0 compression, so it kind of gives that kink Marshall
Mm-hmm.
tight grindy sound, which is great for a rhythm sound. That kind of sound. And then the other one's called a Mucho Busto, and it's kind of tube screamery, but a lot more buttery and smooth and bluesier sounding.
Those are good adjectives. I like that.
Yeah,
So
buttery is the perfect word.
There's your
yeah.
rock
So if I want more rock yet, I can just
Yeah.
have both of them. And
Nice.
Sounds good.
You know,
a lot of annoying things out of that. And those are made here in town by Durham Electronics.
okay,
Oh,
Durham,
okay.
let's.
Well, Durham makes them.
And
Yeah,
the
Durham
reverb.
Electronics.
Yeah.
So I use that, and actually he makes
all
a
three of
reverb pedal called a Red Verb. Thank you.
Ah.
I dropped my own name
With-
there.
Oh,
Easy.
red verb.
Yeah,
Your own signature reverb pedal.
yeah, my own reverb
Red
pedal.
verb.
And then I have a couple of old Boss delays. One is a long, the other one's a short, kind of rockabilly.
So all your reverb is coming from the pedal,
Yeah.
nothing from the amp.
Nothing from the
You
amp.
just leave it on.
And leave it on.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the reverb has a clean boost in it,
Okay.
but I have the level way down.
Okay.
Because I don't need any more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an old TC Electronics phase shifter, just to make the band laugh.
Yeah.
And then a tremolo unit called a Big Joe. And it's a really cool pedal in that it has the tremolo or the vibrato, which is the choppier.
Nice, yeah.
As opposed to.
Okay.
So it makes the two kind of together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a tone and a volume.
It sounds pretty
which
smooth
is-
though. It
it's
sounds
I
like
love it a lot.
blends in.
Yeah.
It's German sound like
I like that.
very nice stuff. Yeah, that's gorgeous sounding pedal.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Well, you know, you're such. I feel like you're so concise, both as a player and talking to you. You just don't waste a lick.
Right.
Oh, I've wasted plenty. Many.
Yeah. It's inspirational, you know. You're like on point with everything
Yeah,
you
you're
do.
very
I think,
versatile.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe you know I got a good question for you. So you've been in Austin now for how long? For
17 years
17
now.
years, and you've seen Austin change, you know, in many different ways. And so, what are your thoughts on the like community wise? You know, there's lots of challenges that we go through playing shows, club shows and stuff, and you know, obviously, we have to, yeah. The changes are not always in our favor as far as the club goes. But what do you think the community, or do you think that the community can do something to shape Austin's future like that, the music community? Or do you think we're just like bystanders and have to go with the flow pretty much?
Well, musically, I think we have control to shape everything, but not getting work and gigs wise, not at all. Because the club owner is the guy that's the guy that spends the money on the building and the bar and all that stuff.
Right.
We're just coming in there to make noise and hopefully bring enough fans and friends in there to make that guy enough money to keep him happy to call us back. That's kind of the goal of that whole thing.
That's all part of the equation.
It's all part of the whole deal. So I think anybody's foolish if they think that, well, all 5 bands of us guys will all stick together and we'll take over this town. good luck with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, there's been tried for
Right.
Yeah.
50, 80 years now. You know, in that way. So it is what it is. It's no different than a conglomerate owning a chain store and a bunch of the workers going, well, how can we make this better?
Uh-huh.
Probably not going to get a whole lot better unless the boss says it's
Yeah,
going to.
right.
Because that's the one paying the bill and has all the other bills all on his back, not on the workers. They just show up and supposed to do their job.
Right, right.
So we're not that it's that menial for us. We just show up and supposed to do our job.
Yeah.
But in a way, it kind of is, because if you don't cut it, you're gone, and they get somebody else probably for cheaper.
And there's
that's
probably-
hungrier.
Yeah, there's enough people waiting in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how many people are moving to Austin all the time, and lots of them play. A lot of them have really good jobs that pay, so they go, oh, play for nothing.
Right.
So all of a sudden, the guys that did it for a living are kind of getting pushed out of it. And that's what happens.
Right, and it's probably not the first time you've seen that here in Austin, right? I mean, it's
In
not
anywhere,
Anywhere,
any
yeah.
city, you
Any
know.
city,
Small
yeah.
towns way different, of course. But any city where there's lots of culture, that's the same with the restaurant business. The same as far as those,
Sure.
they come and go, but there's always lots going on. You know, that kind of thing. But the flavor changes on the block
right.
every 3 to 5, maybe 10 years. you know?
Yeah.
So
The only good thing is that we are here in Austin Guitar Heaven. We don't need to worry about any of that.
yeah, we don't even
We're
have a
just
job
sitting
right now.
We're just sitting on
Purgatory.
a cloud playing guitar.
That's
you know?
right.
Well, it's fantastic to have you here
Well, thank
today.
you. My
Yeah,
pleasure.
This was really inspirational. Maybe should we jam something?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you can have 5 if you
Jam
want
our way
to
down,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like,
Do
Yeah.
what?
if
We
you
can
want
play
to
some
jam
more.
again,
Can
yeah.
kind
You
of
wanna
jam our
play?
way out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do some more of that.
We can do some trading stuff.
some of that
yeah.
Zeppelin-y type stuff.
Yeah.
What was that? You were. That sounded like. I mean, we need Robert Plant in here to sing it, but you were doing some.
Let's call him
pretty
up.
good-
Ruth.
I can't remember what you did, but it was rocking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a progression.
Let's do something other than key of A.
Okay.
That's my only
Can't
flat.
play an A.
B flat.
We found E flat. We found Ulrich's
Got
weakness.
any horn players?
guitar.
We'll be right back.
We can overdub some more guitars in. I think we have. Man, that tone is just. Whew.
Sweet, yeah, awesome tone, and
Thank
also
you.
it sounds so
Straight
good
classic
with distortion too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
sounds really
I
good.
love
Yeah.
it. I love this work.
yeah.
115.
Yeah, and the other one has
That's a good
212s, JBLs, same old JBLs.
Mhm. Maybe let's just do one little jam thing together, where you kind of like playing ahead or something, and you know some
Standard or something, or
yeah, maybe whatever you want to do. We'll try to learn it real quick.
Bob Wills tune,
Jeez.
Home in San Antonio in D.
Try to keep up.
So the verse, the verse is haven't gotta worry, haven't gotta care, haven't got a thing call my own. When I'm out of money, I'm a millionaire. I still got my home in San Antonio. That's the A part. Then
Okay.
the B stays on the 4.
Uh-huh.
When I greet my neighbor with a how you all, that's all G
Okay.
4. When I greet my neighbor with a sharp diminished how you all, well I'm wealthy, back to a 1. As a king upon a 5, so the bridge is. When I greet my neighbor with a how you all, well I'm wealthy as a king 5. Back to the 1. Da, da, da.
Let's start over. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe let's do it in that tempo. Not the,
Yeah.
let's do it that tempo. We just
Slow.
had, yeah, just
Oh, whatever you
Oh,
want.
you want-
Sure.
let's try it slow one time, and then
Okay.
you know we
Okay.
can
So I'll
Yeah.
play the melody for the
Double
intro.
yeah
Once around, and
yeah,
then
and then do
I'll
one.
play the melody
Yeah.
solo.
Yeah.
Go on.
Lovely.
Thank you.
That's about the best country impression that
Yeah. Everyone's just faking.
Yeah, right, faking, except him.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again
Oh,
for
my
being here
pleasure.
on the show
Thank
with
you.
us, Austin Guitar
Thanks
Heaven.
for having me.
And we'll see all of you guys in 2 weeks. Oh, and we'll see all of you guys in 2 weeks on our next episode with Austin Guitar Heaven.